Do you ever feel stuck, like there's a locked door between you and the person you want to become? Maybe you've tried to make big changes, only to burn out halfway. What if I told you the secret isn't in a massive overhaul, but in the tiny, almost invisible actions you're probably overlooking every single day? Today's story is the story of David, a 19-year-old who discovered that small habits, done quietly and consistently, can rebuild a life more powerfully than any grand plan ever could. When David was 19, his life felt like it was on pause. He had dreams, big ones, but no energy to chase them. Every morning, he'd scroll through his phone, sigh at the endless motivation quotes, and promise himself he'd start tomorrow. But tomorrow never seemed to arrive. He wasn't lazy, just lost. He wanted change, but the weight of it always felt too heavy to lift. He'd tell himself, if I can just get everything together, I'll finally move forward. But everything never seemed to come together. And so his days drifted quietly by, filled with thoughts of what could have been. Until one late afternoon, David was sitting outside the print shop where he worked part-time, watching the sky turn gold. Beside him sat Mr. Cole, the shop owner, a kind older man who had seen his share of young dreamers come and go. "You think too much about the mountain," Mr. Cole said, staring at the clouds. David frowned. "The mountain. The big goals, the big dreams," Mr. Cole explained. "You stare at the top so long, you forget that every mountain is climbed one small step at a time." David sighed. "But what if my steps are too small to matter?" Mr. Cole smiled. "That's the thing about small steps, they don't look like progress until one day they do." That night, David couldn't stop thinking about it. He opened his old notebook, the one filled with half-finished goals. And instead of writing another dream, he wrote a list of habits. Tiny ones, things he could actually do. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Read 5 pages of a book every morning. Save a small amount from each paycheck. Write one honest thought in his notebook before bed. They looked simple, almost too simple. But that's how it began. At first, it felt pointless. No big transformation, no instant results. Just quiet repetition. But over the weeks, something small began to shift. David started to notice how those small moments, the sound of coffee boiling, the morning light through his window, the calm of writing his thoughts, made his days feel a little more his. And that quiet control built something powerful, momentum. Months passed. The print shop grew busier, and David found himself handling more tasks, speaking with more confidence. He even started designing simple logos for customers, something he never would have had the courage to try before. Mr. Cole noticed the change. "You see, David," he said one evening, "small habits don't just change your days, they change who you're becoming." David smiled quietly, because he could feel it too. He no longer waited for motivation. He created it, one small choice at a time. By the end of that year, David had saved enough to buy a used laptop. He started learning graphic design online, at night after work, with the same quiet consistency. No spotlight, no applause, just small progress done daily. And one night, flipping through his old notebook, he smiled. The boy who once felt stuck had become someone new. Not through leaps, but through steps. Sometimes we wait for big moments to change our lives. But the truth is, big moments are rare. Small habits, though, they're with you every day. And when you give them your patience, they give you your future. Because greatness doesn't start with a miracle. It starts with a decision to show up, even in the smallest way possible. So if you're in that place where change feels too far, remember David's story. Start small. Stay consistent. and trust the amazing power of small habits. If this story stayed with you, let it remind you that real change doesn't happen all at once. It begins in the small moments, in the quiet choices that build who you're becoming. Please subscribe, like, and share this video for more stories that heal, inspire, and remind you of the amazing power inside your everyday actions.